I'm going to go ahead and start sharing my screen and then get on with the video. And I've asked Lolly and Laura. Is Laura here? Yes, Laura. Okay. I've asked Lolly and Laura and Trey to be kind of a guest panel, and never done this on a Zoom class. I've done it in class, but not a Zoom class. So this ought to be interesting. And I pre-watched each movies or each video. So I've got a list of questions I would like to ask. So if without any further conversation, I'm just going to go right in and share this.
Hello, Keller Williams. Welcome to the Pivot Power Session. My name is Robert Bell with Keller Williams University, and we have a great topic for you today. Today's topic has to do with buyers. It has to do with buyers facing uncertain times and how to still talk to them in this moment and help them make great decisions. Leading this session, as always, is Vice President of MAPS Coaching, Monica Reynolds. Monica, tell us more about today's topic.
You know, I was working with Aaron, and Aaron Simons and I go back. We went on 1,000 listing appointments together. So we worked closely together, and we worked on scripts all the time together. And so I was thinking about, you know, as I'm talking to clients and coaches, one of the things that we're hearing, of course, rightly so, and maybe hearing more, unfortunately, is that buyers are getting out of contracts, Robert and everyone, because they've lost their job. So we thought we would just demonstrate some ways to be a resource for them, to give them some guidance during this time, and how we can compassionately work with them and hopefully retain them as a client. And of course, hopefully they go forth into the world and tell everybody about how great you are as a team. Shine, it gets magnified, and we do the right thing. Win-win or no deal.
Such an important topic for right now, and an important place, or important time, as you say, for agents to shine. And also, it's time for us to introduce our special guest, MAPS head coach, Aaron Simons. Welcome. Thank you.
Yeah, Aaron's located in California also, so he always has another perspective because that's a challenging state like New York right now, and so many others really piling into what's a essential business, you know, so that's interesting. As we all know, every state's different right now.
So what would you say if a client says to you, I lost my job, I'm just not looking at buying in this moment?
You know, we're going to role play that. So I'll be the buyer, okay? And I'm going to call you, Aaron. So ring, ring, ring.
Hello.
Hey, Aaron, it's Monica Reynolds. Do you have a minute?
I do. How are you, Monica?
You know, it's not good. I kind of had this was going to come down, but I basically was told that on the 15th will be my last paycheck. And I'm not sure if I'm going to get my job. And we were supposed to close on the 20th. So I already informed the lender that I can't buy the house.
Got it.
So I want out.
So first off, Monica, I'm sorry to hear that. And as you know, this is happening a lot, as you've probably seen it heard, right?
Yeah, I mean, I've got a bunch of friends that are going to go through the same thing right now.
We're already seeing it. And you know what? We're going to do the right thing. And of course, the good news is we can still get you out of this contract and get your earnest money back. That's not a challenge, and that's the right thing to do for you guys, correct?
Yeah, you know, I put, you know, what, $7,000 down, and I suppose I won't get the money back for appraisals and things like that, but so I can get my money back on that because that'll help me with at least a month of expenses.
Exactly. Now, Monica, knowing that you're now in this situation, can I share a few things from some other clients that have been up against the same thing that you're in right now?
Yeah, but let me go back to one thing. So on my deposit, what are the chances of me getting that back since I lost my job and now the lender won't qualify me?
Yeah, well, the good news is you still had a financing contingency in place. So since you can't get financing as you're going to be unemployed,
we are going to get a full refund on your deposit, okay? So rest assured, the minute that we get signatures on the cancellation from you and from the listing side, we'll get that to escrow, and they'll go ahead and immediately release your deposit. It'll either get sent back to you as a check or wired to you. You'll be able to choose. Sound good?
That sounds great.
We 100% will make sure that that money is protected and gets back to you, okay?
Yeah, that'll give me some help for the next month, and then I guess I
Good.
got to get in line like everybody else and file unemployment.
Good, well, yeah, and that's what I want to share. So in addition to filing unemployment, that's step number 1, correct? And you've already got a plan on how to do that, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, our company gave us a link, and of course I got on there and it's crashed and you can't get on, but I'll keep trying.
Okay, good. Now, can I share a few other good ideas that I want you to take on as well?
Well, sure. What do you have?
Okay, now you're currently in a lease, correct? I mean, you're renting right now.
Yeah, I've got to call the guy and see if I can stay here. I don't think he
She does. It sounds like a client.
will probably stay.
Good, because that's the next thing I'm going to recommend you do. Not only do you want to make sure that you can stay there, you also want to see the flexibility that the landlord's going to share with you as far as some sort of rent.
Your phone?
Does that make sense?
Wow, that would be great. So some
Cute photos.
You got to remember, we're all in the same boat on this, right? You're not the only one. You're not the first one. So 100%, he'd much rather have you stay in that property, even if it means getting paid less money in rent. He'd rather have you stay there, knowing he's getting something versus nothing. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So should I offer him what I?
I mean, start the conversation and, see what you can work out. That'll be a win-win between you and him, but definitely start that conversation today. Make sense?
Yeah, we can do that.
Now, the second thing I want you to look at also is the car that you have. Is it a lease or is it financed?
It's a lease, unfortunately. It's about $495 a month. I've got a big car, so.
Well, here's the good news. We've had a few clients, again, in the same situation that you're in. They've actually been able to negotiate with the company that holds the lease. And what they've been able to negotiate is 3-month, right? For the next 3 months, they don't have to make their lease payment. And what happens is it just gets tacked on to the end of the lease. So let's say you have 20 months left on your lease. What they do is they basically extend it out 23 months. So you might be able to go these next 2 or 3 months without having to make that payment. Would that be helpful for you?
And that doesn't affect my credit because now I'm worried about my credit in the future if I ever want to buy a house again.
Yeah, well, that's going to be part of the conversation. And I know there's some stuff in the stimulus package around that as well. However, as long as we're tacking that on to the end, in what I've seen and heard, it hasn't been impacting credit.
Wow, that would be a relief too. If I could do that, boy, I could maybe, make this work for a couple of months.
Exactly. And any other debt you have, do you have any credit card debt right
Well, I do, and I still qualified for that house, but I have about $8,000 on one American Express business kind of credit card I have.
now? Well, what I'd ask you to do is typically if you have the statement, if you have a paper copy of the statement, or if you can download the PDF from the website, oftentimes on the back side of that statement, you'll see a hardship department. My recommendation is that you find that number, you reach out to them as well, and just like with the lease, just like with the landlord, see what you can negotiate to give yourself some breathing room financially. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. And, thanks for bringing that up. I just thought one thing. I got an email from the electric company saying that if you're in a hardship to call them, so maybe I should look at all my utilities too.
Yeah, and that's the last thing I wanted to share with you. Go through your bank statement, go through that credit card statement. Any reoccurring expense you have on there each month, you got to ask yourself, can you renegotiate it or can you cancel it? Does that make sense? Now, of course, there's going to be reoccurring expenses on there, such as your food bills and things of that nature that you can manage. Yet there might be stuff, whether it's a gym membership, whether it's a streaming membership, really go through those statements and look for those things that you can eliminate, albeit maybe temporarily, but it'll put yourself in a much better financial position to weather the storm. Does that make sense?
I didn't even think about my gym membership. I could maybe call them and maybe they can postpone it for a few months because nobody's going in anyway. But I guess if I don't call, they're just going to still charge me. So
That's exactly right.
I think looking at my bank statement and my credit card statement and all these charges that just show up on the first of the month that I'm used to, I need to look at.
Because here's what I know, Monica. This is all temporary, correct?
Yes, it is. And I have a chance that the company may hire me again, but I'm going to get my resume together and maybe it's a time for me to have another opportunity.
Exactly. You know what? There's light at the end of the tunnel. We're all in this together. Everybody's experiencing something similar. So if we can get you to the next 3, 4, 5, 6 months, get you back on your feet, possibly even get hired back with the company that you're working for, I know at some point you still want to be a homeowner. That's still a goal. That's still your motivation. That's not going anywhere, is it?
No, not today. I still want to do that at some point. I just don't know when I can come back.
Well, you know what? I know there's a lot of question marks out there. Obviously, we have a little checklist here as far as what you can do now to get yourself in good financial shape. We're going to stay in close contact with you, okay, over these next weeks and months, and use this as a resource. We're talking to a lot of people. You're not alone in this, all right? We're partners in this together. And I know that at some point you will be back employed and we will be back on the hunt for that perfect home. And you want to know what? You might be able to get that house at, the same low rate and possibly maybe be even a little less expensive. We don't know, but it's going to work out just fine. All right?
No, we don't know. And so I can just kind of hang on for the next few months. I appreciate you touching base. Just let me know what's going on and I'll tell you what's going on in my world.
Great, we'll do that.
Okay. All right. Okay, so Robert, what'd you think of that?
That's an amazing conversation to have. What stood out to me is how compassionate it is. And it's the agent playing the role of financial advisor, right? Helping this person make really good decisions that aren't necessarily buying a home in this moment, but they're the best decisions that person can make at the present time. It also seems to be a big opportunity to build a relationship for down the road.
Yeah, one of the things is that when, unfortunately, someone loses their job, it's horrifying. And all they think about is, okay, how am I going to get food on the table? And they're not thinking about what's happening nationwide, that there's so many lenders and so many landlords. I personally went to my tenants and cut. I first asked the question because I just want to make sure how's things going, how's this or that. One of them is a caregiver, and she's had to pay extra money, she was telling me, for her child because she's working a lot more hours. And I said, well, how about this? And thank you, that I'm blessed that I could do this. I said, let's just not pay rent this month. And then next month, let's see if you can pay half. There were tenants, though, that are really strong in their jobs and they're doing fine. And so I didn't make those offers to them at this point because I may need to make it to them later. So you just have to be compassionate of what you can do and be proactive. But mortgage companies, lenders, car companies, lease companies, wherever you're getting a service, they're all looking at seeing what can we do. And everybody's getting noticed no matter what your income is and where you're at. What about your utilities right now too? So really looking at those strongly. Anything else, Aaron, that you would say?
Yeah, just echoing what you said, the reality is a lot of people don't know that they have those options. And so I think it's important that, we share those options with them for them to go out and work on just as their resource. And, we obviously are probably talking to a lot more people than they might be. So we're seeing more things and we're able to bring all this back to our database, which is hugely helpful.
Yeah, and trust, I do understand if all the contingencies have been removed and they're bailing out at the last minute, now they don't qualify, it could be a fight to get their money. But you have to show up and say, I will do everything. Unfortunately, the contract is saying this. Let's see how the seller feels about this right now. And let's see if he hasn't incurred any major costs at this point. There's a good chance. Just let me do my job. Let me do my very best. But sometimes these sellers, they've made some other commitments and they're stuck and they've moved out of the house and they have moving costs. And so sometimes getting those deposit backs is not that easy. So we did the easy one. So you guys know what to do on the hard ones, right? Okay, that's it for me, Robert. Another great one.
Thank you so much, Monica. Thank you so much, Aaron. That was an amazing conversation, such a powerful conversation. And on the pivot page on Connect, for today's download, we have the checklist that Aaron was talking about. So you can download that and you can use that in these conversations if this type of situation comes up. With that, I'm Robert Bell, and we will see you next time. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
That was great, Dan. So should we talk about what they're discussing and what we can do moving forward with our clients?
Yeah.
So I think the one thing that we all need to do on a daily basis, we're sitting home. We kind of don't have any, look at Lolly. She looks so cute and all perfect this morning. Good deal. Is make sure every day you at least reach out to 5, if not 10 of your prospects or your past clients. And some of you that are new, just reach out to the people you care about and just see how they're doing and try to guide them through this. Because, you know, I have someone right now and I told her, I said, contact your bank. You know, she's having trouble. You know, we have her house listed. Thank God it just sold. And I said, you know, just call them and see if you can get, you know, a couple of months without paying your house payment and your car payment. So if you are their guidance through this, you're going to be their guidance in their future moving forward. And, you know, so has anyone have stories where they've been talking to people about these kind of things?
I had a deal fall through within like 3 days because a lady showed up to work. Oh, same place she'd worked for 40 years. And it shut the doors and sold the company overnight. So, and I had sold her the house through video. But
Wow.
it's done.
Wow. That's horrible. You know, and you know, that lady, you know, she may have some things that are going to be forgiven. So if you can kind of guide her through this, because people don't know, you know, they're not on these calls. They're not getting the knowledge that we're given. So try to guide her, even though she may not be able to buy a house from you now or ever. You're still going to be her friend. And there are people that are terrified out there. So if we can just give the knowledge that we have, but what you have to be very careful is do not tell them that their loan's going to be forgiven. Tell them that they need to contact their institution and discuss this with them. Because sometimes we just need a couple of months until things get back together. And that leads me to another thing with you guys. They're talking about, I don't know if Dan's discussed this, but I was just on an OP call and they're discussing the 1099 employees. There may be a grant coming up. We're going to know more on Friday, and where you may be able to, you know, get a couple of months. Like there might be something for $20,000 for 1099 agents. You know, if you made this much last year, then they're going to give you, you know, 2.5 months of this grant. You have to be very, very careful filling it out, and you have to go to your bank. So I would contact your bank first and find out from them, you know, what they have going on. Does everyone, any of the local banks are easier to deal with? I'm just saying. So has anyone looked into that?
No.
I have a question though. What about us new folks and trying to maintain some of our expenses? I mean, I've cut back a lot. Is there anything that they can do about us to help us maintain our business so we can get started really good?
Well, first of all, you can contact your, you know, if you have a car payment, if you have rent, or if you have a house payment or your utilities, you can call these companies, and a lot of them are deferring half, a lot of them are deferring the whole thing and moving it to the end of your loan. So you can start making those calls, and I am going to try to get more information on the 1099 to find out, even if you're new, you know, are you going to be able to get that grant? And, you know, so we're looking at it, but when we do get that information, pay attention, because you have to get your information in quickly. Like I was working on the KW office, and the form changed at the last minute, and all of a sudden they were already out of their $150 million funding. But luckily we were in there, and he called me Sunday night, you know, and from the bank. I mean, when you get a call from the bank Sunday night, you're like, what the heck? And he's like, Teresa, he said, I need this stuff in first thing Monday morning. So Crystal had to go and redo the entire form. But I'm hoping that they're going to have something for new agents to protect you during this time. And I'm working on trying to get some information on it. But still contact your own bank and ask them.
Thank you, Teresa.
Absolutely. I mean, these are just crazy times. And if anyone, you know, reach out to me personally, if you're having any trouble, because it is, I mean, if you're a brand new agent and you just got going, you're like, okay, I have this much money to get my business going. And then all of a sudden this happens. But I will say this, business is still out there. It depends on, if you have health issues, you're uncomfortable, you don't want to be out there, but there are other opportunities. People are still buying. I don't really understand why they're still buying, but they really are.
And if you can't show it, get one of your other agents that you're close to show it for you.
Well, but what you can do too is go to the house, and this is what we've been saying. Some people are not good about their social distancing, but I had a guy yesterday. It was a vacant house, and and so I'm like, hey, this is the lockbox code. You can sit in your car. You can let them in the house. You can't do that on a normal house. I mean, you have to pop the lockbox, but you can sit in your car. You can let them in. You go back in, with your gloves and your mask, and then you lock the house back up. So you don't necessarily have to be around them. You just have to educate them on how things are being done now and for the precautions. And I don't tell them it's precaution for me. I tell them it's precaution for them because I've been around people. So that they are very much more understanding when they think you're trying to take care of them than yourself.
But that's on empty houses only.
That's on empty houses. If one is occupied, you can talk to your seller. I talked to one of my sellers and I said, hey, are you okay if they just go in? And they were fine. Now, some people aren't going to be fine. And you also, you can tell what type of person, that you're working with. I mean, you don't want someone that's going to go in there and start stealing, because crime will go up right now. So be very careful with who you have, and also make sure that they're pre-approved, because there's no reason to go out there showing property to people that are not approved. And I'm telling people as well, that, sellers are getting very anxious. I'm getting ready to list one now. And unless they have a pre-approval in their hand, they've done all the video tours and they're ready to buy that house just by seeing it, they're allowed in the house. Other than that, no one's allowed in there. But it doesn't mean that we're not doing business. I had 4 of my listings sold last week, strangely enough, not my high-end listings, but everything from 100 to 300,000 really seems to be moving. So those are the houses you need to start going after. And if you're in your car and you see a for sale by owner, at that point is the time for you to call them, because their homes are not going to sell themselves anymore. And it's actually a benefit to you when they need a realtor.
I wanted to say, I don't know if anybody saw Barbara Cochran yesterday on Good Morning America, real estate guru lady.
Mm-hmm.
She actually gave a couple of really good scripts on Good Morning America yesterday about buyers and sellers. And it was that if you have a buyer that's getting skittish, they're still qualified, but they're getting skittish. When this is over, everybody's going to be out buying, and the prices are going to go up. We don't know what's going to happen next 2 to 6 months, whatever, but this is not going to get better the prices are not going to get better when this is over. This is a good time to buy because the prices are reasonable as they're going to get. And from a seller standpoint, they don't have a lot of competition. There's so many people that are skittish. They put their house on the market, it's gone in a day or two. I've had at least 3 or 4 phone calls in the last week of people with multiple offers on their listings. So I think that's a really good sign that it might be a little iffy the next couple months, but it's not going to go anywhere. We just need to think differently. It's like selling houses at Christmas time.
But we do need to make sure that that all of you as our agents are taken care of during this time. And so we do want to walk you through that, but don't stop working. Carol's right. Once this opens back up again, all the people that have been out there networking, and it doesn't have to be personally networking, but just making those calls, you are going to make yourself, stand out amongst everyone else. Do your Facebook videos. Do a video on Facebook and explain to people that if they're in hard times, that they can call their bank. And people don't know. They just do not know. They're independent people out there working, and they might be working, at the Quickie Mart, and they're not educated in these kind of things. But if you are their educator, you're going to make the difference for them. And this is the time for people to come out on top.
I have gone through Command and did a campaign, and I have gotten about 10 leads just in the past 2 days doing that. So
Is
I
it the
definitely
Facebook
recommend that.
campaign?
Yes, I did it on Facebook and Instagram, but I did through Command, I did a campaign, and I've gotten so many leads from that that I'm working on following up with.
Thank you for sharing
Did
that.
one.
You know,
I did that one too, but I only got 3 leads. What mile radius do you put in?
I do 45 miles.
45?
anything
Maybe I'll try
like-
that.
Yeah, I remember, talking with Carol and stuff, within an hour's distance from where you live or whatnot is a good, I'll go 2 or 3 hours away. I don't care. But I just do a 45-mile radius, and I do a lot of targeting, like when you go and you do the interests and you pick a lot of interests like for sale by owner, or so anytime somebody types in, for sale by owner, or if they type in Zillow.com, a lot of your things will pop up in their feed.
are you doing the paid Facebook on Command?
Yes.
So Lenora actually did it for me. Is she on here? My paid, I have no idea how they all came. I really don't. I can't even tell you where they came from, but I got 115 of them. Wow. I think I told her to spend $20. We all need to talk to Lenora about what she did, because I don't, how much did you spend on yours?
I just did 20 for Facebook and 20 for Instagram. So I did 40. But maybe Lenora should do a little Facebook class on how to get 115 leads from Command Advertising.
Well, since she's not on here, we're now volunteering her.
Yes.
Lenora is going to give us. So Dan,
all in favor for Lenora to show us how to get leads.
and I honestly was like, Lenora, figure this out, because she's doing some admin stuff for me, and she's like, I don't know how, and she goes, okay, I'll figure it out. But all of a sudden, I said, Lenora, obviously you did something and pushed a button. There were so many, honestly, and I don't even mind sharing them, because it doesn't mean they're all going to buy something. Some of them are like, I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah. But then other ones, they are talking, and, it does give their email and their phone number. But be careful by calling them their name, because Trey's been doing a lot of these. If you call them by their name, sometimes it pulls them in, if their phone is through their parents, or I don't know. You know how your iPhone, if you have an iPhone, it pulls up people's names. Sometimes it's right, sometimes it's not.
Yes. Well, I have one from Gary Keller, and it was
we did too.
It was fake, but I was like, maybe he's trying to test me to see if I'm working. So I sent an email anyway, but it ended up coming back fake. But but if you're overwhelmed with leads, Teresa, I will gladly take some off of your hands if you want to send them.
I am happy to. I tell you, I have a huge database, and for Dan's productivity, I am happy to try to figure out. I'm trying to organize my database. So what I was thinking is, since there's no way I can organize 18,000 people, that maybe, we can work something out to where, we just kind of do it like my team does. It's like a 50-50, and everyone just goes in and just starts nurturing these leads. They do stay with my team, but if they buy something, then, then it's a 50-50 split, which is the way I do it with my team. But I have so many that you have no idea who's ready and who's not, because there's no physical way. I send out blasts to them, and I market them all the time, but some of them need that personal touch.
Yeah, I don't mind calling them.
Yeah, and if you guys, y'all reach out to me, just text me direct, and then, I'll try to figure out a way to send some of those over. I just want everyone to survive right now. And some of them are going to be old, some of them don't know what you're talking about. But if you get one and that looks like they're interested, call me, and we'll try to decide how to nurture that into a sale.
Perfect. Thanks, Teresa.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Anything else you guys have? Dan, I'm going to let you take over.
You're doing great. Keep going. I'll get a rest after yesterday.
That's right. Hey, just so everyone knows, we're doing coffee. What is it? Coffee talk?
Yeah.
Dan is the one that chose 9 a.m.
Dan, you are busted.
Hey, Dan.
Carol said She,
You tried
she
to
said
back
she
that
wanted
up.
Make sure everybody wears pants.
she said she wanted one Tuesday morning.
Hey, morning for females after we do our hair is 10.
Thank you, Teresa.
I
Hey,
told him
Dan, for
I'm
everyone that signed on late, tell us all why you told us when we first signed on this morning why we did 9 a.m.
because you said Teresa, because Teresa said she wanted it Monday morning.
Well, just so y'all know,
We're supposed
I
to
already
make
had a Zoom
calls.
call.
See,
Yeah, I've already, what? Go ahead.
when you get up at 6:30 in the morning, 9 a.m. seems to be kind of late.
I told Trey that. I said, you know what? Dan's a military guy. I was like, his butt's up at 6 a.m. I said, we're still sleeping.
We're off our schedule. We're off our routine.
But
So
you know,
get back- So get
I
out of bed and get back on your routine.
I did just do a Ben Kenny podcast, and he said you are to get up every day just like you would going to work. You go and exercise, you go for a walk, you get your stuff moving. He's like, do not change your routine. So I'm like, oh, okay.
It is tempting to sleep in, though.
Well, I have OP calls at 8 a.m., so I'm already having to get up. But I still think that right now we do need to stay in our routine. And Dan, the difference is sometimes you just don't want to be on a video where you're looking at people.
Yeah.
Well, see, when you're 70 years old, it doesn't matter.
You don't have to get ready, Dan. You just roll out of bed.
So does Trey. Don't let her fool you. She doesn't have to do her hair either.
What?
Trey.
Trey and Rich and Dan don't have to do their hair.
Easy.
Rich has to shave his head.
The time change didn't help either because it's lighter longer and I want to stay up later and later. So I'm not getting to bed until like midnight because when it gets dark is when I actually do stuff like around the house.
Nope, I agree. Hey, Trey, I just want to tell you, you got bobblehead too, like that guy did.
Do I really?
You know what it is? It's the background. Did you put a new background on? You did.
Yeah.
Look, I wish we could video it.
I actually am videoing
I was
it.
gonna say you're recording.
Hey, we need to do a happy hour.
I did with my family the other night. All of us got on a Zoom conference and we did like a happy hour. Of course, I don't drink. I had some Gatorade, but we did that, so it was fun.
Well, you guys, we're going to have our sales meeting as our regular sales meeting, the third Thursday of the month. So we're going to have a lot more information there. And then, Dan, is our next one Thursday at 1?
Now Wednesday at 1.
Okay. Hey, Crystal.
Hi. There's one Wednesday at 1.
How are you?
There's one Wednesday at 1, and then I did Friday at 10 since that's Good Friday, and I didn't want to go afternoon.
So we're doing the PC still on Thursday, though, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Oh, there's the kitty.
The animals
Hey,
are
Jeff.
spoiled rotten.
Oh yeah, they're gonna be peeing all over your house when you leave. Everybody's got a pet's gonna be mad, including Lolly.
I know mine are rotten. This is my old pug. You guys never see this one.
Aww.
My girl.
Hey, baby.
She's the OG.
She ought to have a bullet put in her head.
Dan?
Get her out of her misery.
Yeah,
Dan Calloway.
Yeah,
Dang, Dan, what the world? Mm.
Backstory. She's geriatric, dementia.
She's living her best life.
She coughs and her bowel falls out. Like, it's just.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
What? You just have to love them through this. Like, when you get older, you hope someone takes care of you, right?
I don't know.
I don't know. She can't.
Probably like
speak.
inject me.
You start out in diapers, you end out in diapers too. Come on.
That's
Full
right.
circle.
Completely blind, completely deaf, has dementia, poops all over. barks and then poops and pees.
Look at her.
I love you anyway, Dan.
Look at that baby.
Oh,
Poor thing.
With a great beard.
how old is it?
She's 14. Now my
14?
daughter's pug is 17.
Oh, wow.
That's old for a pug.
Yes, it is, and I really think that we might even have the oldest living pug, or either close to it, because, 17 years old. Let me show you this. Hold on. All right, look at this, guys. So this is Phoebe. Okay, that's my daughter. My daughter's a grown woman. That's her dog, and she's still living.
Oh my,
Oh my
gosh.
gosh.
She loved her good.
Look at this. Look at this high waters on Taylor. She's still living. So.
It's a little young one.
Oh my God.
Dan, what else do you have for us, Dan? Do we have any great information? When are we going to do, so Lolly, Laura's not on here, right?
She is.
Yeah. She is.
And Trey. Dan, what are we getting ready to do with the three girls, the three amigos?
Well, we just wanted to kind of talk about some of the high points of the video and some things that, we should remember going forward to try to bring this home to our clients and I call them suspects and prospects and clients. So, ladies, take it away.
First, I'd just like to say, who thought Robert Bell had a great mustache?
I thought he was a little thin in the shoulders.
I just can't, y'all. That mustache now.
No, I think Teresa really honed in on everything. I think that it's about relationships. Our business is about relationships, and it doesn't change even in this time. So just reaching out to everybody, making sure that they're thinking of the things about, cutting expenses temporarily so they don't damage their credit, so that in the future they are going to reach out to you and they will be able to purchase, because they may just go into a knee-jerk reaction, and it's our job just to help keep them calm and get them through this time.
I just had someone that I reached out to, and it's very sad. I sold him a house a couple months ago, and he just lost his job. So hopefully, I pray he gets another job. But if he doesn't and he gets a job somewhere else, they're probably going to have to move. So that's another thing. You have no idea how many people this is going to happen to. And there's something that our neighbor did in our neighborhood that I thought was really cute, and I thought we could start doing it with Keller Williams. Is she did something and taped it on everybody's mailbox, very safe. And we could do it with our Keller Williams logo and write a little note, and it was called The Bear Hunt. And so it's from this little book, but everybody in the neighborhood at 1:00 had all these bears out in their yard, and it was like a Where's Waldo, where the kids could come out and look. But if you do that in your neighborhood or another neighborhood, it's also a way to get you out there in front of people, because you still have your little Keller Williams. You can put your card on it and say you want to sponsor this for the neighborhood. So these are little things that you can do to really put yourself, forward, and people will know who you are. You're not asking for anything. You're just trying to get the community together. And people were out walking, riding their bikes. Even the cars were slowing down, to look at everyone's yard. So it's just so many things right now that you have more time for. Before we were almost like reactive because we were working so hard. Well, now you can be proactive toward the future.
Yeah,
We're actually doing a driveway sit out. So people are bringing their own lawn chairs. The ones right around our circle here are bringing their own lawn chairs, and we're all dispersing out. And everybody's got their own iced tea. I hope it's iced tea or something, but everyone's got their own drink. And so we're just talking, just like neighbors, but we're all way distanced away from each other. But it's kind of neat because it's warm outside and everybody's chatting, and we're just going over things that are going on with their lives. So it's pretty interesting.
But Dan, when was the last time that everybody in the neighborhood actually had time to sit out there and bond with each other?
Yeah.
Halloween. Yeah, Teresa, Windhurst did the going on a bear hunt, and it was precious. And I found a bear out in storage from some of Taylor's childhood memories that she hoards. And I went on a bear hunt, and I was excited about it. It was fun. There were kids up in windows, and I was just tickled about it.
It really is. It's fun. And, and everyone can do their own little thing. What if they do something for Easter?
Easter bunny.
And have some Easter bunnies out there, because, right now kids are bored, and it will just show your community involvement. But if you do nothing.
So if we don't live in a neighborhood, just adopt one.
You can adopt one. Oh, hey, PJ, you can adopt one.
Hi, sweetie.
Go in there and adopt your own neighborhood, and get out there, and because it doesn't have to be yours. It could be it could pick out one of the largest neighborhoods in your area, or a little quaint one, and just get out there and so that everybody feels in communion with you. Make sure when you put it on the mailbox, you have your information on it.
Yes, that's true.
You could start a neighborhood Facebook if they don't have it.
So Trey, you have any good ideas?
Well, just like what Teresa was saying with the bear hunt. So yesterday, my next door neighbor, she is actually putting a Bible verse up every day right beside her mailbox for all the walkers in the neighborhood. And it's just like, I can really feel a sense of community pulling together. And I guess, like I said, Lolly said it, Teresa said it. Right now, it's not business as usual, and it is about reaching out to people. And it's, not what can I do for you in real estate, but what can I do for you to get through this time? And staying in contact with people, just letting people know you're there. And like in the video, just giving people, we have a lot of knowledge, like this has already been said, but a lot of knowledge other people don't have, with just helping them through this time and keeping in touch with them and being their source,
Yeah, I totally agree. This is what I've been teaching to the productivity agents for a year. You really have to do your selling from your heart, not from your pocketbook. And this is a good time to really show that.
I think another thing too is I went through my neighborhood, and it dawned on me there's a lady that has an oxygen tank. And I'm like, she has lung issues. She can't go to the grocery store. And I didn't know, like, maybe she just wants something from a drive-through. I don't know. I'll ask her. So I reached out to her, and she wanted some items from Kroger, and they were funny items, and I enjoyed taking them to her. But yeah, she sent me a picture this morning, and she goes, I have biscuits to eat for breakfast because of you.
Oh, see? That is awesome.
Sweet.
Yeah. And, it felt good to do that, these are her biscuits.
Oh, I want one.
Yes.
I know, you know what they were? They were the Grands, the Pillsbury Grands, the ones you take one or two out of.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
She also
That's
wanted
awesome.
grape soda, orange soda, Coke, Duke's mayonnaise.
don't forget about the wheat tortillas.
Oh, wheat tortillas. I had to ask her to explain to me what was she, because I'm like, are we talking chips? What are we talking? So I think I did it right. And then I had a coupon at Kroger for $2 off flowers, so I bought her a little bouquet of flowers. And
So did you hear Carol's special request?
what?
Okay, I'm good on SpaghettiOs.
I love SpaghettiOs.
I love SpaghettiOs. And I love my own hot dogs in my SpaghettiOs, not the SpaghettiOs that come with the hot dogs. Those are crappy hot dogs.
Tomorrow is
real
Carol's
good, hardcore, original SpaghettiOs. Got 5 cans yesterday, and somebody is giving me some more tomorrow. So I'm good on that. But I still don't have Charmin toilet paper.
Isn't tomorrow your birthday?
Tomorrow is Carol's birthday.
Oh, yeah.
Happy birthday, Carol.
Oh, we'll get you some
Happy hour
SpaghettiOs.
Zoom for Carol's birthday party.
Happy birthday, Carol.
Yeah, Zoom for her birthday.
Yes.
We're all going to go out and sit on the
5
lake.
o'clock tomorrow.
We're
Yeah.
all going to go out and sit
You
on
can
the lake.
definitely, just so you guys can see, there's plenty of room for social distancing out there.
Let's do
That's
it.
what this is.
We'll all go
Do
sit on
it.
the lawn. We're going to get our blankets out and our chairs. We'll all sit out on the lawn.
Social distancing is easy out
Yes.
Hey, I'll do it. What time do you want
I'll
us?
do it. 5 o'clock.
Happy hour at Carol's house.
You can serenade me
o'clock.
from the lawn.
Oh.
Yes.
Carol, it's so good to see your face.
I'm still here. I'm still here.
You're so pretty.
Just here too. Just kind of.
Hey,
You got it
Joe.
all dressed up for us this morning.
We're staying really super safe. We haven't been out in 20 days, 3 weeks.
Jeff wanted
Oh,
Wendy's and
my
Carol wouldn't let
word.
him have it.
No, he wanted to go through a drive-through at Wendy's and I wouldn't let him.
I've been going
You
to
don't know who
Chick-fil-A.
made that food or who wrapped that food or who gave it. No. Yeah. I've been that. I've been that one. Mm-hmm.
We have
We've
to
been-
support our businesses.
I had to go on a diet. Just want everyone to know that.
Oh my God, Lolly. Me
I was
too.
fat. The COVID-19, I was gaining 19 pounds.
No, she don't need to.
COVID-19,
I
19
gained
pounds.
7 pounds. I know my normal weight, like my good weight, and I was headed. So, yeah, because I was eating ginger snaps. I told Laura and my team, like, I'm so old. I eat butter pecan ice cream. What was it else?
Ginger snaps.
Ginger snaps, that's it. Ginger snaps, butter pecan ice cream, and I found a new one I like too, sherbet.
Oh, I love sherbet.
I don't have any sugar.
Sugar.
No, not at all.
And Jello. Oh, Jello, yes, Jello.
Oh my God, if you start eating Jello, you know. That's the thing you start out with as a child and you end up when you're old.
Elbow shots?
No, they're not even a shot. It's just straight Jello.
Yeah, but have any of you ever drank hot Jello?
Gross.
Yeah. Why would you do that?
It's so
Yeah,
good.
that's sick.
It's good.
I'm with PJ. That's gross.
It's a good old Southern drink.
That's disgusting, Dan.
Yeah.
Everybody, I got to run. It was nice seeing you all again, and hopefully
Hey,
soon we'll be
Rick.
able to be in the same room.
You have to go do your floors.
Bye, Rich.
Bye.
All right. Are we
Bye.
hanging out now?
Yeah, I guess we're done. All right, guys. Thanks for joining us.
All right.
Bye. Bye. Have a
Bye.
great day. Bye. Have a great day.
All right. Bye-bye.
Miss y'all.
You too.